If you want to attack this financial crisis, instead of listening to all the people say, I don't know, look at the people that have succeeded in the past. There's a man that succeeded in almost every crisis that's happened in the last half century. His name is Sir John Templeton. I'm sure you've heard of his name because he's one of the most successful investors in history. Sir John made all his money during the most difficult times. His belief was, when we're in crisis, at the levels where people are at the maximum level of pessimism, that the world is over, that's when you make all the money. If you're resourceful, if you're decisive, if you find the way, if you know what you're doing, if you model what works. And he did. Guess how he did it? His first chunk of money happened as a young man. He borrowed everything he could when World War II broke out. When Hitler was invading and everybody's freaking out, he borrowed $10,000 and he invested in the New York Stock Exchange in every stock he could find under $1, which wasn't hard because it was the middle of the Depression. In fact, a lot of these companies looked like they were going to go bankrupt. But guess what? That was the base that made him a billionaire when the season changed. When winter was over and spring began, all that started to grow. He was patient and he won. And by the way, he didn't stop there. When World War II ended, Japan was in shambles, destroyed. Guess who went over there and invested when nobody else would? And they said there's no opportunity. When there's no way to make money, Sir John. And when everybody jumped in the bandwagon and said, let's go to Japan years later, guess what he did? Sell and made his fortune. Did the same thing in South America when inflation went to 150% and people are saying, oh my God, it's the end of the world. That's when he invested. And by the way, one of the reasons I love Sir John is, he sounds like he was an opportunist. What he really did was just have courage. And he used his wealth for greater good. He created the Templeton Prize, which is larger than the size of the Nobel Prize, which each year, that financial gift was given to someone he thought made the biggest difference in spirituality around the world. Whether it be in a religious form or any other form, he wanted to show that the invisible part of humanity, the human spirit, was the most powerful resource we have. So he didn't just demonstrate it with money, he demonstrated by his legacy as well. And I said to him, tell me, Sir John, what is the secret to wealth? He said, Tony, you teach it. Gratitude. He said, how many people you know who seem to have everything and they're so unhappy? And then you see someone who seems to have nothing, but they're so grateful and they're rich. He said, gratitude is everything. But you know what the problem is? We all know this, but we don't do it because we haven't created a time, a ritual that makes us do it every day. Do you know what I'm saying? How many books have you read? How many tapes have you listened to? How many times you realize, of course, I need to get back to my gratitude, or of course I need to increase my passion, of course, but you don't have a place you do it every day. See, the people succeed do this stuff every day.